Please be advised this podcast features AI clone voices. All content is reviewed by experts for accuracy and relevance. Welcome to IADS Retail Park, where retail giants evolve or go extinct. I'm Maya, your guide through the ever-changing world of department stores and retail innovation. Today, I'm joined by Christine Montar, Director of Markets and Events at the International Association of Department Stores. Christine brings a wealth of experience from orchestrating global retail events and market insights, and she's seen firsthand how department stores are tackling one of the most urgent and promising challenges in our industry, the sustainability revolution.
Thank you, Maya. It's great to be here. Sustainability is no longer just a nice to have or a box to tick. It's a tidal wave shaking up business models, investment strategies, and customer expectations. Retailers around the globe are grappling with a mandate that will cost up to 615 billion euros by the year 2030. Our goal today is to unpack the IAD's exclusive white paper, published in January 2023, and spotlight how this dramatic shift is playing out on the department store stage. Let's start with the big picture. Sustainability isn't new, but its role in business decisions for retailers is fundamentally different now. Consumers are more educated about the impacts their purchases have, particularly in emerging economies and among garment workers. They're demanding transparency from brands and wanting real, impactful change. At the same time, governments are stepping in with new laws designed to make retail data more accurate and traceable. These regulations can have huge implications for both profit and operations.
That makes perfect sense to me. And for department stores, this is personal. Unlike single brand retailers, department stores are local institutions, anchors in city centers and tourist destinations. They have a unique responsibility because they serve as the bridge between consumers demanding change and the suppliers who need to deliver it. When department stores move towards sustainability, the impact is amplified, influencing a vast web of brands, customers, and even city life.
Exactly, Maya. The paper points out that department stores have the size, the complexity, and the central position in urban life to make serious foundational changes. Sustainability isn't just a marketing story, it's a true business transformation. And as we're about to see, the stakes are higher than they've ever been.
I completely understand where you're coming from. The IADS white paper compares sustainability to opening Pandora's box. At first, you think it's about recycling bins and energy saving bulbs, but quickly you're knee deep in complex questions. Where do you start? How do you track emissions across hundreds, even thousands of suppliers? How do you comply with regulations that seem to change by the week? Just defining sustainability in retail is daunting. Retailers started by drawing up corporate social responsibility frameworks, moving to environmental, social, and governance ESG reports, but even that isn't enough. Tracking greenhouse gases, for example, means completely re engineering supply chains, retraining staff, and negotiating with partners who might not share your priorities.
And the stakeholders, they're everywhere. Customers demand immediate action, but their purchasing decisions don't always line up with their environmental ideals, especially as inflation squeezes wallets. Governments, like France with its AGEC law, are rolling out regulations at lightning speed, sometimes giving retailers just 9 months to comply.
And don't forget suppliers, often scattered worldwide, who are being pushed to invest in cleaner production and disclose their emissions data. Department stores work with hundreds, sometimes thousands of brands, trying to gather Scope 3 emissions data from factories across the globe. That's a logistical feat worthy of a Hollywood movie.
Not to mention shareholders and employees who worry about sky high transformation costs. The price tag somewhere between 315 billion and 615 billion euros by 2030, all while profit margins have fallen by 6.5% over the past 6 years in France alone. The message is clear: change is not optional, but it isn't cheap or easy either.
Wow, thanks for sharing that insight, Christine. Despite these hurdles, department stores are stepping up. The IADS has tracked a burst of collaboration and transparency, something frankly unheard of in such a traditionally secretive sector.
You're right about that, Maya. During the early days of the pandemic, the IADS organized multiple studies, first in 2020, then in 2021 and 2022, tracking how retailers were responding. Legal pressure spurred many to exchange ideas and experiences on a scale never seen before, even talking with NGOs, trade unions, and consumer groups. This new openness, often through associations like IADS and initiatives such as the 2030 Breakthrough Initiatives, help set shared goals and accelerate real progress.
Let's put a spotlight on some impressive real world results. El Corte Inglés, Spain's premier department store, managed to cut its Scope 2 emissions, a measure of indirect emissions from consuming purchased electricity, by 78% from 2017 to 2021. Bruninger introduced CO2 neutral shipping, while Galeries Lafayette powers its stores entirely with renewable electricity.
I love how you've woven those examples together, but here's the twist. The toughest challenge is Scope 3, emissions from the supply chain, which often makes up as much as 95% of a retailer's carbon footprint. Tackling this requires global collaboration. Macy's has managed to halve its use of virgin plastic, and Selfridges is targeting 45% of sales from the circular economy by 2030. The next big push is transforming the supply chain, which the IADS white paper notes is the second most promising investment area after digitalization for department stores.
I'm really drawn to that idea, Christine. It's got a lot of potential. Private label development is also shaking things up, but it's complicated. There's no global standard for sustainability that applies to every brand. For inspiration, the paper cites Green Pea in Italy, marketed as the world's first 100% sustainable department store. Green Pea isn't just looking at eco friendly products. Their entire real estate footprint, potentially 60% of a retailer's emissions, is designed for sustainability. Even more interesting, Green Pea educates customers with brutally honest, easy to understand data about their own consumption impact.
That example was very helpful, thank you. It's clear from the IAD's research that there's simply no one size fits all blueprint for sustainability. Each department store is on a collaborative yet solitary journey, collaborating where possible but tailoring solutions to their unique context, from local laws and demographics to national priorities like diversity or inclusion.
This brings up tricky questions. How do you communicate sustainability to customers without falling into greenwashing? The study compared department store messaging in 2020 and 2022. The lesson: it's crucial to keep your message consistent across every channel: physical stores, websites, social media, and even partner communications, but also adapt that message for each audience and context.
Structurally, department stores are experimenting too. Some are hiring chief sustainability officers, others use ESG committees or spread responsibility across different teams. Still, as the paper warns, adding more layers to manage all this can itself slow down change. Legacy organizations have to watch out for added complexity.
That's quite unique, and I'm intrigued by the possibilities it presents. Ultimately, the biggest question is how to turn sustainability into a business opportunity, not just a cost center. Newcomers like Green Pea have the freedom to design for sustainability from the start, but heritage brands have to be creative, ensuring their solutions not only serve the planet and customers, but also keep the business viable and competitive.
That's a great point, Maya. Too often, sustainability is framed as a constraint, something you have to do or else. But the IADS white paper flips this thinking on its head. Sustainability isn't a burden, it's a major chance to reinvent the department store business.
I couldn't agree more. The message to leaders is clear: don't wait for the perfect plan, because standing still is the real risk. Retailers already learned this lesson with digital transformation. Every month spent hesitating is ground lost to competitors and irreversible reputational risk. The white paper identifies two key phases. First, fully focus short term on supply chain transformation. The technology and partnerships to do this already exist. Second, build on this by ramping up collaboration within the industry to fuel faster and broader innovation.
Absolutely, Maya. And don't underestimate the power of peer networks and associations. The IADS has played a vital role since 1928, helping department stores share knowledge and ideas. In today's landscape, these kinds of exchanges are not only valuable, they are essential for solving industry wide challenges. If you're listening and you're not part of such a network, now's the time.
Let's get practical. For executives, managers, and industry professionals listening today, what should you take away?
First, start your sustainability journey now, even if you don't have a perfect roadmap. The only way to find solutions is to begin making changes and learn as you go. Second, invest in transparency with suppliers. Your biggest ESG impact may well be upstream. Third, communicate clearly with your customers, but avoid greenwashing. Honesty and consistency build trust even as definitions and standards shift. Finally, future proof your organization by making sustainability a core part of your culture, not just a siloed department.
Thanks for providing such a clear example, Christine. The IADS white paper is full of actionable insights, case studies, and frameworks. If you need guidance, remember you're not alone. Collaboration is the new competitive advantage. The sustainability journey for department stores is deeply complex, but as we've seen today, it is also rich with opportunity. From Elcourt to Inglis's dramatic emissions reductions to Greenpeace next level transparency to the cross border collaboration that is breaking down old barriers, we are witnessing real innovation, not just talk.
That's a great perspective, and I fully support it. Remember, the takeaway for every retail professional is simple. Start your sustainability transformation today, even if your first step is small. The cost of waiting is just too high in this fast evolving market.
Thanks for joining us on this journey through the IADS Retail Park. If you found today's conversation valuable, please subscribe, rate us on your favorite platform, and share this episode with your team. Catch our exclusive industry updates and more deep dives on LinkedIn and Substack. Search for IADS, Exclusive Insights.
We are always excited to share new ideas and trends with you. Join us next time as we continue to map the future of retail. Until then, keep innovating, keep transforming, and stay ahead of the curve with the IADS Retail Park.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. This is Maya and Christine signing off.